My name is Tori. If you do not know me, am a Wiccan Hearth Chaos Witch. We'll dive into that in another video. But I am the creator of the Digital Coven. It is a Discord of witchy souls and just a cool place for all of us to chat. And yeah, I'm excited to post some actual video content and get to know some of you lovely people. So today we are going to read some Reddit, and I know that's like such a thing to do now, but we are going to read witchy Reddit, and we are going to weigh in as a witch into witchy scenarios. So comment your thoughts. I'm very excited to hear what everyone says, and if you care about what I have to say, I'm going to give my thoughts too. So here we go. Am I the asshole for not letting my daughter expose her religion and hiding her stuff? First thoughts, yes. But let's see. First of all, I'd like to apologize for any grammar mistakes because English isn't my first language. That's okay. English is my first language, and I have all kinds of grammar mistakes all the time. So I, 47 female, have two daughters, 19 and 15, and the youngest one is pagan and has been learning about witchcraft and such since she was around 12. I have no problem at all with her choice. My whole family and myself are Catholic, but I personally don't mind her choice of religion. I mean, that's great that you don't mind. The problem is that she has an altar with a pentagram, candles, statues of gods, and crystals in her room, which can scare some people. Okay. Recently, I hired a cleaning lady to help out a couple days a week, and I asked my daughter to hide her stuff the days the lady comes over because she's an old woman and extremely Catholic, and I'm afraid that she might get scared with the whole pentagram thing going on and quit. My daughter got really upset with me and said that I was intolerant for asking her to hide her religious artifacts and that she wouldn't do such a thing since she can't move her altar around nor hide it. I really need the cleaning lady helping out, and it's been really hard to find one. And now that I finally have found one, I didn't want to lose her because of my daughter's religion. So I've been asking my daughter to hide at least the pentagram and the statues, but she refuses to do so. So the first day the lady was over, my daughter was at her friend's house for the whole day. So I hid her stuff in the closet, which was the only place in the room that the lady wouldn't look. And after she left, I put everything exactly where it was. When my daughter came back, she found out I had moved her stuff around and hasn't been talking to me since. She doesn't understand why I did that. Am I the asshole? So, wow, this is hard. It's hard to just talk to you. So are you the asshole? Yes, I would say it's super cool when somebody is accepting of someone's practice. Me personally, I have been Wiccan for a little over 10 years. Some of my family is Catholic, and guess what? They don't know because they don't deserve to know. I don't know how they would react, but they haven't shown me that it would be in a positive way, so they haven't deserved it. So the fact that you're supportive of your daughter, that's really cool, but it kind of seems like you're focusing on yourself. I don't have kids, but if I did, I would, even if it was weird, I would fight for their right to, it's their home too, you know? The verdict was asshole. Comment below what you're thinking. That makes me sad. My altar is definitely not able to be moved. It takes up a whole corner of my desk. When I was younger, if I could have had an altar like this, I would have loved that. Unfortunately, I was hiding it. So also if somebody came through and like rummaged through my stuff, I'd be upset. It's all in a very specific place for very specific reasons. And just the fact that you moved it without permission is really messed up. So yeah, comment what you think. Let's read some of these comments. Oh, so it's okay for Christians to prance around shoving their faith down other people's throats, but no one else gets to publicly display their faith. You're the asshole times a million. And then somebody responded, she didn't even publicly display it. She had it in her room. That's kind of where I'm at. It's just, you can't be accepting of it. And that like even her room isn't even a safe place. Like, I keep mine in my office. Nobody's allowed up here when they visit. If I even invite people, people don't come over here. But yeah, just hire a different cleaning lady who isn't Catholic, or tell her to stay out of her daughter's room and the daughter has to clean it herself. Yeah, that makes me sad. And the thing is that I don't think a lot of people realize is that your kids are going to remember this. So in 10 years, when your daughter doesn't want anything to do with you and you don't know why, remember this, because there are things that I have in my family that have been said to me, and that whole you'll understand when you're older. I don't forget things, especially when it comes to the things that are important to me, and this is probably very important to her. So yeah, you're the asshole. Sorry if you didn't know. I'm so caffeinated, guys. I don't know if you've had this crap. It's like 2 cups of coffee. This, like, Jesus. Okay, on to the next one. This is another Am I the Asshole? I don't think they'll all be like this, but I enjoy these. Okay. Am I the asshole for not letting my friend burn sage in my new house? Let's see. Last month, I accomplished a lifelong goal of buying a home all on my own. I have been living in a frankly shitty apartment for 4 years while I've saved up for my down payment, so the house has been an incredible upgrade. Congratulations. I have a friend who is very witchy, spiritual, superstitious. Personally, I am very certain that there is no such thing as the supernatural, which she is aware of, but I give her plenty of space to do her thing and I don't rain on her parade. She came to visit me for the first time in the new house over the weekend, and I was giving her the tour and everything, like you do. She tells me that the house is amazing, and she is going to do a quick cleanse for me by burning some sage. And they put, in quotations. She explains that she burns sage to spiritually, energetically cleanse a space. I say, okay, that is fine, but this is my space, and I don't really need or want a cleansing ritual performed. She says, well, if you don't believe in it and it's not real to you, then what difference does it make if I do something for myself to feel comfortable? I say, because I just don't want it, and basically ask her to get comfortable here the same way that she does with any other space where she isn't allowed to burn sage. Now she is upset because, according to her, I should not care about anything that would not affect me as a non-believer. To me, that comes too close to the it's just a splash of water argument for baptizing babies against a parent's will. Yeah. And I just think that since I respect her beliefs as far as her own stuff is concerned, she can respect my space by not insisting on performing rituals there. Part of me knows that I could just prevent an argument by acquiescing. God, that word is hard. Acquiescing. So I'm not sure if I'm being an asshole here. That's wild. I've never gone to someone's house, and I've offered to, like, family. Like, my sister knows I do this, and I'll be like, I will smudge your home. I'm not going to, like, just a friend's house, their new house. Like, my sister bought a house, my other sister, and I did not offer to do this because she doesn't do this. And I'm very much a believer of that. If you don't think something is going to work, it probably won't work for you. I believe in witchcraft and magic and all that stuff because I believe it and I want it to work. And so it does for me. I'm not like at Walmart wishing I could sage. That's wild. So yeah, I'm going to say they're not the asshole. That is the verdict that they came up with. Comment what you think. I will say I have just told my husband to stand still, and I'll be like, hey, I'm going to smudge you. And he's always a little weird about it. But again, my husband, my house as well. I'm not just doing this. I'm not going over to my cousin's house and being like, hold still while I burn this immediately. Okay, let's read these comments. Not the asshole. It's your home and you don't want her burning sage. I assume she doesn't want you sending a Catholic priest over to her house to bless it. Exactly. You can be witchy and still practice a religion. I burn Palo Santo and would welcome a priest to come bless the house. Shrugs. That's fine. It's still it's your house. It doesn't. It's not her house. So yeah, I don't. Just don't. keep it to yourself. I mean, don't like hide. You don't have to hide things. I hope that everybody is in a situation where they can openly express their beliefs and their faith on both sides, witchy and other mainstream religions. But don't perform magic or cleansing for people who definitely don't want it. The same way that I don't want people praying for me that without, I hate when people do that. So, okay. Not the asshole. Okay, I'm very excited about this one as somebody who does spell work. And we're going to discuss the morals behind this together. Am I the asshole for refusing to thank my Wiccan sister-in-law for her fertility spell after I successfully got pregnant? So I recently found out I'm pregnant after a little less than a year of trying for a baby. Congratulations. Our family knew in recent months that we were trying, but having a little difficulty waiting, although doctors assured us it was still a matter of time and nothing out of normal range. I'm sure that's really stressful, so I'm excited for you guys. These are kind of old, by the way. I just went through and found old ones, but anyway. A month ago, my sister-in-law announced to our big family group chat that she was going to cast a master-level fertility spell for us to help with our conception. It was super weird to me because nobody asked her to do this, but she's a self-proclaimed lifetime Wiccan, and apparently she carries quite a bit of clout in her local witch community. She said the spell she was doing for us would typically cost a lot of money if she was charging like normal. At the time, I just said something like, haha, thanks for thinking of us. Not much else. What a weird flex. Around a week ago, I found out that I'm pregnant. It's been a super happy time, and our extended family has been so supportive. The one thing that continues to bother me is how much my sister-in-law has passive-aggressively insisted that her spell worked and was solely responsible for my pregnancy. I get that that's going to happen a lot. I get that those are her beliefs, but it's weirding me out how much she wants me to acknowledge and validate her spells and magic stuff. I haven't said anything to her or in the family chat, but I've heard from my husband that she's been talking about me behind my back, calling me ungrateful and rude for not even mentioning her spells when I was thanking family for their support. Am I the asshole if I continue to ignore her? I'm thankful she took effort out to support us, but I don't want to be like, yes, your fertility spell was responsible for our pregnancy. Thanks so much. I don't even believe in witchcraft, so I don't know why I should claim so in front of everyone. My husband thinks I don't owe her anything, but I've been feeling bad inside. Edit, when we first found out, I thanked everyone for sending good thoughts our way and giving us emotional support and encouragement when we needed it most. I did not, however, specifically mention the spell. I just thanked everyone for being supportive. That one's wild. Okay, thoughts, comment immediately. I just want to know your initial gut reaction. For me, I never do witchcraft or spell work for somebody without permission. I don't think it works. I think you have to want it. It's the same thing with manifesting. If you think it's stupid, it's not going to work for you. I've got my sister's names in an abundance spell, but that's more of, I'm just sending happy thoughts their way, but I'm not doing full spells. I'm not doing full money spells or health spells or anything. I've had my sister reach out and I've done a spell for her, but she told me exactly what she wanted. She was in on it. I'm very much just don't, I guess. If you think differently, I don't think there's anything wrong with, if they don't know and they don't believe it, does it hurt anybody? I'm not sure. I've been Wiccan for about 11 years and I've just kind of leaned away from that. The verdict was not the asshole. I would agree. It's kind of uncomfortable. Also, when you've been dealing with trying to get pregnant, that can be really stressful. I can't even imagine the work that goes into that and then somebody taking credit for it. You're growing a human being now. What a way to take the attention off the new parents, one of these comments. I've been Wiccan for decades. This is rubbing me the wrong way. I personally have no issue if someone is legit experienced and wants to charge for that experience. I agree. But I seriously don't know what a master level fertility spell would be other than one cast by someone of said experience. I also don't like the fact that she told you she was going to do this rather than asking you if it was something you wanted. While your thanks could have been construed as consent, it seems pretty high-handed, and consent for even beneficial spells is typically considered important. The whole thing just comes off as pretentious, and while it's absolutely a small minority, there is definitely a subset of people who basically think that they're hot shit because they're in charge of a coven and have been initiated to the nth degree. Most of the Wiccan pagan community is not like that, which is one of the things I like about it. But much like Christian evangelists who are convinced that they have a more direct channel to God than anyone else, they do exist. So in short, you don't owe her anything. A general group thanks for support seems perfectly reasonable to me. I agree. I don't do this. I don't even charge for spells. I've got my abundance and my karmic justice, which is definitely not a hex jar, on my Etsy shop. That more of pays for the supplies to put into it. Basically, if you want to be part of the abundance jar, I put your name on the bay leaf and the ingredients, and I charge the spell weekly, and your one payment pays for the ingredients for your part of the spell as I build it. But I'm not like charging people for love spells or anything. If you do that and that's how you make your money, then that's fantastic for you. I definitely wouldn't expect anything in return. Like, I'm not reaching out to people and being like, hey, I don't think you were excited enough for what I did for you, you know? And I always ask. But I am curious. Anybody have this happen to them? I've never had anybody do this for me. So, okay. Congratulations. That was 5 years ago. I hope everything is amazing and your kid is fantastic and that you don't have to deal with any more weird, unsolicited magic. So, guys, it's so hot. The flannel is gone. We'll put it behind me for the aesthetic so that you know that I'm cool still. Put it back there. Okay, would I be the asshole if I hexed my brother-in-law? I love stuff like this. Okay. I know I'm not supposed to be cool with hexing. Again, if they deserve it. Do I have a hex jar? Yes. Yes, I do. Everyone in this jar has earned their place. And it's karmic justice. It's not hexing. Yeah. This is in my Etsy shop. You can join it. The more people that join, the stronger it gets. And I've had some very good results with the 2 people in here. So check that out. Maybe I'll link it. I'll link it below. Okay. My brother-in-law is seriously the worst person I have ever met. He's angry and violent, abuses my nephew. Oh my God. Currently, his ex-wife is fighting in court with him for full custody of my nephew, and they've been at it for over a year now. Every time the judge orders him to do something by the next court date, he doesn't do it, and the judge just lets him off without any consequences. It's seriously starting to upset me. I have a multi-step plan for taking care of his half of the custody, but I don't know if I should just let it play out naturally or intervene. I planned on doing protections for me and mine, his ex-wife and her family, a binding spell on him so he can do say no harm, a justice spell to transfer his half of the custody to her, and maybe a cord cutting for my nephew to make it easier on him when it happens. So, would I be the bad witch if I did it? Comments. First gut response. Okay, again, I did just say that you should get permission before doing spell work. I think hexing is a little different. Am I going to announce to the world that I've hexed somebody? Probably not. Did I just do it on YouTube immediately? Yes, I did. But I would have done it already. I draw the line at abuse for my family. Absolutely. Maybe ask, I don't know how your relationship is. This was like half a year ago. I don't know how your relationship is with your nephew and your sister. If this is something you can bring up that you want to do. If I texted my sister right now and said, hey, I'm going to hex your abusive ex-boyfriend, she'd join in. But if not, keep it to yourself, I guess. If they don't know it's happening, is it really morally wrong? I'm not sure. I want to know what you all think. I apologize. I keep looking at myself, but I need to look at that green light. Keep looking over here, but I need to look over there. How many times have I done that this whole video? How many times have you guys been watching and I've been looking over there? We'll learn. We'll learn this, okay? We're learning together. Would not be the bad witch sounds totally legit to me. I'd hex him too. My kind of people. Go ahead and please let us know how it went. I also would like an update. There's no update on this. Man, I give abusers no quarter, F them up, use all the nettles, find his footprints, and poke those needles in them. I'm not sure that one actually works, you know what I mean? Good luck. Would not be the bad witch, protect your family. I agree. I'm very much like, I do kind of follow, the karma. I don't want to bring on bad karma onto myself, but I also am sick of people walking all over everybody. Stand up for yourself, stand up for your family. If it's justified, power to you. I have no issue with that. This was justified. I stand by it. They deserve what's happening to them right now. Okay, we're going to do one more. I said these weren't all going to be Am I the Assholes, but they are. Oh well. Am I the asshole for demanding my boyfriend's sister pay me back for the cost of the spiritual material she threw out? This better have been an accident. Let's read. I, 28 female, have been a practicing pagan witch for over a decade. My faith and spiritual practice are deeply personal and important to me. Over the years, I've created several altars for different deities I worship and work with. Some of those altars rotate in and out of active use depending on where I'm at in my practice, so I keep them neatly packed away in labeled storage boxes. My main altar, however, is always active. It's for the deity I spend the most of my time with and have the deepest relationship with, and it's in our bedroom. That is very organized, and I'm very impressed. Mine is chaos all the time. I just add to it, and it just grows, and it's not organized, and I'm jealous of this, honestly. Each altar is made up of specific tools, crystals, candles, oils, statues, cloths, charms, handwritten letters, herbs, and other offerings. Many of these are handmade, imported, or gifted. Some were expensive, others just deeply sentimental or spiritually charged, but every single item has meaning and purpose to me. I live with my boyfriend, 30 male, and a few weeks ago, his younger sister, Kayla, 24 female, got kicked out by her long-term high school boyfriend. She's been living with him for years, but wasn't on the lease, so when they broke up, she had nowhere to go. It's sad. She didn't want to move back in with their parents and asked if she could stay with us temporarily while she figured things out. I wasn't super excited about it, but I agreed because I didn't want to be heartless. Before she arrived, I took the inactive altars and stored them in our hall closet just to make the shared space less cluttered, but I left my main altar, the one for the deity I work with almost daily, untouched in the bedroom. It's my boyfriend and I's private space, and I figured she'd respect that. I hate that you say you figured she'd respect that. Yeah, while we were both at work one day, she decided to help around the apartment, except instead of just cleaning, she cleaned out. When I got home with my boyfriend, I noticed right away that the altar in the bedroom was gone. Turns out his sister took it upon herself to throw out everything she found that she thought was weird or looked like junk, which included the contents of the 3 altar boxes and in storage and the main altar. Guys, I would lose my mind if somebody came in here and touched my altar. Like, if my husband came in here and moved a candle, all hell would break loose. How dare she? Who does that? Oh my gosh. When I confronted her, she got defensive and said she thought she was doing us a favor by getting rid of the creepy stuff and that she didn't think I'd actually want it. Yeah, because the thing that you store in a box in your house, you don't want that, right? The things sitting out on your dresser, you don't want those. I was horrified, went straight to the trash area, but the dumpster had already been emptied that morning. Everything was gone. Statues, deeply personal offerings, items I've collected for over a decade, some of which were irreplaceable. I was devastated. I feel for you. That hurts. That hurts my heart. I sat down that night and calculated what I could remember and reasonably estimate. The total came out to just over $900. I calmly told Kayla that I expected her to pay me back for the items she threw away. She laughed, stressed, and said there was no way she could afford that and that I was being insane for demanding so much money over some rocks and candles. Those rocks and candles are expensive. Have you been to a crystal shop lately? It is insane. It is insane. I explained the actual situation, including that the $900 was to replace destroyed property, not rent. I've skipped something. Let's try this again. She got upset, packed up, and left that night without saying a word. A few days later, I got a call from my boyfriend's mom, furious. You gotta love a parent that just stands by their kids even when they're crazy, I guess. Kayla told her I kicked her out for refusing to pray with me and for not supporting witchcraft, and that I was trying to charge her $900 in rent. I explained the actual situation, including that the $900 was to replace destroyed property, not rent. Also made it clear that Kayla wasn't kicked out. I simply asked her to take responsibility for what she'd done, and she chose to leave. That didn't matter. His mom doubled down. She said Kayla was in a fragile place, and I should have shown more compassion. She told me I was punishing someone who was already going through enough, even after I explained exactly what happened. She said that maybe I shouldn't have had that stuff just lying around if I didn't want it thrown away. My boyfriend is being neutral and just keeps saying I see both sides. He hasn't really defended me or pushed back on how his sister treated my things. Am I the asshole for demanding she pay me back for what she threw away, even if she's going through a tough time? You going through a tough time does not mean you get to be a jerk, I would say. Comment if you disagree. Also, someone didn't die. She broke up with a boyfriend, and that's really sad. But she's young, and she's got so much time to find somebody better. But that's crazy. That's crazy. And is anybody else the person who reads the Reddit stories that involve boyfriends that don't do shit and you're just like, leave them? Just I'll be with my husband, we'll watch the Smosh Reddit stories, and the second some guy is like a jerk, I'm like, just leave him. Just you've been together 15 years, who cares? Leave him. I don't even wait. That's probably not healthy. How did she know the boxes were full of stuff she considered creepy? They were boxed up. She seems like the type to snoop. Yeah. I've never gone into someone's home and gone through things. And if somebody came through my home and went through things, they would not be welcome back in my home. My altar is very important. And even if it's not $900 worth, because a lot of mine is thrifted or just crap that I've found, it's just the point. It's just don't touch people's stuff. Can you imagine if this was like some other religious altar? Like, what if I went through my Catholic family stuff and threw out all their Bibles because they upset me or some crap? I don't know. That would be ridiculous as well. And the reaction would be insane. Yeah, that's sad. Don't touch people's stuff. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I have more of these, so if you liked it, comment down below, subscribe for more. I'm excited to do more content like this. I'm also very excited to post more witchy content, like spellwork, rituals, altar setups. Maybe I'll show you guys my altar. You got a little peek of it in the intro. But yeah, so thanks so much, and hope to see you soon. Stay wild, stay grounded, and stay witchy, my loves. This is just a test. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Is this working? That's a problem. We're gonna move it. How awful does this sound? I don't want it to be stupid. It's stupid. Let's put it. Where do y'all put this? Do I have to bleep myself out? Will YouTube be mad? How many F-bombs have I dropped? A real lady curses. Stop looking at yourself. The funny thing is that it is 75 degrees in my apartment, but it's August and I put up Halloween decorations, so like flannel is necessary, but I am dying. Witch dies on YouTube video from heat stroke because she wants to look aesthetic for the vibes. Look at the green dot, right? It's the green dot. Don't look at you. You're beautiful. It's 100 degrees. Gotta put the hex jar back if you're my family. Swipe away. Don't make Thanksgiving awkward.